Hello, I'm the Irish guy, and yes, it is the Prem catch-up. Let's take a look at the nuttiness that happened in the Premier League this weekend. Right, let's go. Newcastle 1, Bournemouth 4. Bournemouth are incredible.
People still don't realise how good Iriola is.
I'm sorry, do I not exist? This is because I did that Saturday social spoof, isn't it? Probably not, no one watched that one. But lads, I've been gassing up Iriola for so long, when nobody else wanted to know. At times, I felt like a weird little gremlin. It's like Iriola was that awkward comedian on stage, and I was the only one laughing, like a weird little joker. When this man failed with his first 9 league games in charge, and I was still bigging up the Spanish wizard, even my own mum probably thought,
oh, I really shouldn't have let him drink paint as a child.
Nah, and you shouldn't have given me a crayon sandwich when I was bold either. But look, I have been saying that Iriola is top. I've been saying that he's the most talented manager to ever coach the Cherries, and he proved that by walking into an ultra-confident St. James's Park, dragging with him a bench full of kids, and still thumping the lights out of Eddie Howe. Bournemouth are 1 point off the Champions League places, and it's nearly February. Iriola is incredible. I'm going to say this. This was the most impressive win in the Premier League all season long by any team in the league. Come on, think about it. Bournemouth are facing a Newcastle side who've just won the last 9 games of football. They only conceded 1 goal in 6 Premier League matches. And your bench looks like a kindergarten. I mean, I was half expecting 1 or 2 Bournemouth bench warmers sitting with the Luz Bite Your lunchbox on their lap. When Iriola was forced to bring them on as subs, I was half expecting to see cheese string stains on their shirts. Come on, their shirt numbers added up to 387. Who on earth are the likes of Winterburn, Reece Doughton, Adu Ajay, Akin Bunny, McKenna, and Zilcott Dewberry? If I'm Iriola, I am frightened to bring that reserve list on the bus to St. James's Park. It's been agreeing to go camping in the woods for a week with a rucksack full of nothing but underpants, stickers, and Lion King DVDs. I mean, come on. Zane Zilcott Dewberry sounds like a type of posh face cream you might get in Boots. His bench was made up of children, blokes who probably still watch Barney the Dinosaur. These Premier League footballers are probably the same people who 2 years ago were begging their mum to buy them a Prime. At least one of them probably has a Fortnite tattoo on their leg. At least a third of that bench probably still write letters to Santa Claus. And yet, 4-1 with Justin Kluivert ending his 2nd hat-trick of the season. I mean, his first hat-trick was a fake hat-trick. When all your goals are penalties, then you should not be allowed to bring home the match ball. But this, oh boy, casually flinging in a treble against his daddy's former team. Honestly, Justin was 5 when his legendary dad Patrick was playing for Newcastle. Somebody who came alive in the FA Cup, don't forget. I mean, winning goals against Chelsea and Spurs to gift the Magpies a semi-final. Honestly, that goal against Mourinho's Chelsea is a childhood memory. I mean, sure, domestically, the legendary Dutch striker was a slightly burnt out pony, really frustrated that he's always in the shadow of Shearer. Maybe this hat-trick was Justin getting revenge for the whole Kluivert family, because this is what his dad moaned about 20 years ago.
There's only one man responsible for the fact that I did not become a big hit at Newcastle. His name was Alan Shearer. I think Shearer is a fantastic footballer, but Souness should have played Bellamy and me together all the time. Newcastle United Football Club is all about Alan Shearer. It's as simple as that. Nobody can beat him, nobody can touch him, and nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah, there's more.
It was always my dream to play in England. When I look back, I think it was one of the biggest mistakes in my career. Not because of England, but because of Newcastle. What turned me off as well was the kind of football Newcastle play.
Yeah, this is a man who hates Newcastle United, and to this day probably throws beer bottles at the telly whenever Shearer pops up a match of the day. Yeah, I'm thinking Kluivert Jr. was extra motivated to humiliate the club who've got a statue of his dad's enemy outside the ground. Now it all makes sense how this fairly mediocre vanilla winger somehow managed to morph into prime Arjen Robben on Saturday morning. Honestly, the Kluivert family are eating good this week. Man United won, Brighton 3. Embarrassing, woeful, hideous. Andre Onana, I was wrong. That's when he first joined Manchester United from Inter Milan. I did an entire video gassing him up, saying that he was a crucial elite signing. That this ball-playing goalkeeper would have the same effect on Man United as Alisson and Ederson did on Liverpool and Man City. This is a fresh, stylish, new age goalie who'd be molded in the academy of actual Barcelona. Lads, Onana is good with his feet, yeah. But oh wow, he makes more mistakes than Mayweather doing a crossword puzzle. He just cost his team the match. Come on, Brighton winning 2-1. With Man United trying to snatch an equalizer, a routine cross gets knocked on the floor across the box, and any goalie worth his salt smothers the ball, collects it, fine. The end. Now, for some reason, this man spoons the ball away, leaving Jorginho Rutter to score a 3rd. I'm no Man United fan, but even I can tell that goal will have stung. The sight of this man wheeling away, cupping his ears to the crowd, will have been a gruesome thing to witness, because don't forget, this man was signed from Leeds. Is it time to just give up and get a new goalie? Because this isn't like when a skinny, raw David Gea took time to settle at Old Trafford. No, that was a boy barely out of his teens. Onana turns 30 next year. Is he really going to cut these gas out of the game? No. So continuing to persist with him looks about as desperate as KSI fighting Wayne Bridge. I mean, meanwhile, De Gea, after a year out of the sport, has come into Fiorentina and done well. Whilst Onana, he's showing the reflexes and decision-making of a pudding. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. 2 seasons ago, Man United's 2 goalies were De Gea and Martin Dubravka. One of them has gone on an 8-game winning run. The other has gone on a 9-game winning run. And neither of them are at the club. If it weren't for Onana, I think Amram's side would have gotten something out of this game. Move on, move on. This has been 2 years now of mistakes. I get the club don't want to admit they made a mistake by buying this man, but put your pride aside. I mean, Pep Guardiola did when he ditched Claudio Bravo just a year after ruthlessly replacing Joe Hart with his Barcelona man. If Guardiola had been stubborn and said, oh no, I need to make this work, then City wouldn't have won a sausage because Bravo was an error-prone, terrified bunny rabbit in the English game. Go out there and get my nan. My nan, by the way. No, don't put my granny in goal. She'd just stand in the goal mouth asking Harry Maguire if he'd like some licorice. And I'd be very confused because she died 10 years ago. Nottingham Forest 3, Southampton 2. Wow, lads. I said Southampton would come to Nottingham Forest and pull off a shock win. Instead, they're 3-0 down at half-time. But lads, Ola Aina just produced the moment of the weekend because the Saints had battled back to 3-2 after being incredibly fortunate that the VAR ruled out a Forest fourth when Aaron Ramsdale seemed to melt like a chocolate pie when trying to collect the pull. Honestly, that match had tracked down whoever was in the VAR studio and send them a kiss in the post. But look, Aina's moment, incredible. I actually thought this quality Nigerian right back should have cleared Diogo Jota's equaliser for Liverpool off the line last week. But here in the final minute, the former Chelsea boy shows incredible athleticism to hook a goal-bound header from Mateus Fernandes off the line to prevent a calamitous Forest collapse. Man, can you imagine if they conceded 2 goals in injury time against the team bottom of the league? A 3-3 draw would have instantly triggered a Forest collapse, just like when Southampton drew 3-3 with Arsenal to ruin their season 2 years ago. And yeah, Forest would have begun the sloppy descent out of the top 4. They'd have crumbled. But no, this was an elite clearance. So to give him his full name, big congratulations to Samatayo Oliviseo Olalulwa Aina. Christ above, there's more vowels in his name than a damn Beyonce song. Well, come on, guys. Give Ola his flowers. Honestly, Forrest, you should thank Jose Mourinho because him discovering Aina all those years ago and introducing him to the English game, that might just have saved your season. So I hope you send Mourinho flowers in the post. By the way, HITC James had a brilliant Sunday. And now I don't have a creepy telescope pointed at his house. Now I haven't seen him slurping in a big bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. Let me tell you, something remarkable happened. After Saturday's matches, I was convinced this man would finish bottom of the leaderboard, which, I mean, for his last ever outing on YouTube, would be a terribly sad way to bow out. It would be like Yaya Toure playing one last ever Soccer Aid match, and he gets nutmegged by Leona Lewis. Just very humbling. But remarkably, James registered 0 points for Saturday's games. Not a single sausage in the bag. And honestly, being halfway through the weekend and with nothing on the board, it looked like we might have our very own version of 2008's Derby County stinking up this list. But thankfully for him, he actually snatched 30. Yes, 30 points from Sunday's game. So now, well done, James. You don't actually have to hide your face when out in public anymore. Leicester 0, Fulham 2. Sack him. 7 defeats in a row. Are you mad? I'm almost beginning to miss the ice cream showers. I remember how awful and doomed Leicester looked under Nigel Pearson before their great escape 10 years ago. Even still, that garbage out of sorts side never had to endure the embarrassment of 7 losses on the trot. But this Leicester team is so incredibly embarrassing. If I'm the Leicester chairman, sack Ruben Nistelrooy tonight. Because honestly, if you ignore the fact that he commands an aura from his playing days, then you should be able to see him for what he actually is. An inexperienced banana of a manager and someone who doesn't have a clue how to get Leicester out of trouble. Honestly, go out there and get Sean Dyche. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 2. Let's put some major respect on Crystal Palace's name because Oliver Glasner has been quietly cooking for months. Now, this isn't as dramatic as the ridiculous Goalfest springtime form last year, but still, it's just 1 defeat in 11 matches. This was back-to-back 2-0 wins on the road in the space of 3 days. That's pretty epic. But when it comes to West Ham and Graham Potter, I hate to say it, but I told you so! Ipswich 0, Man City 6. Yes, lads, this is what I said would happen.
You know what? Why not? Why not? Ipswich 1, Man City 0.
Nope, 6-0. 6-0. I'm not going to tip Man City to trip on banana skins anymore, okay? Because they are now officially out of their funk. Attention to everyone, okay? Man City are no longer in crisis. And we can now look back on that hilarious 9 defeats in 12 matches as an isolated incident. They are fine now. Here they were absolutely eating Ipswich for tea. And let's be real, James McAtee made it 6-0 with 25 minutes left on the clock. If they really wanted to, this could have been their second 8-0 win of the month. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 2. Unai Emery loves this, doesn't he? This man is like that bitter, scorned ex who loves nothing more than continue to haunt the one who dumped him. Ever since Emery was thrown out of Arsenal, he's almost made it his mission to keep on humiliating the guy who took his job. It wasn't enough that Arteta was deprived of a Europa League final in his first full season in charge by Emery, but to then destroy his title bid last season with 2 wins, and now nicking a point at the Emirates, which, let's be honest, that has destroyed their title bid. I would actually argue this result has done more damage to Arsenal's title challenge this year than Villa's win at the Emirates last year. Come on, if the Reds win their game in hand, the gap is down 9 points. 9! This was unforgivable. The Gunners were 2-0 up against a Villa team who'd been on the beach all season, so allowing them to fight back and nick a point. This was incredibly sloppy behaviour, and Emery, he really is your boogeyman. He's like that one woman who was dumped by her fella after 2 years and then makes it her mission to make his life hell. Brentford 0, Liverpool 2. Darwin Núñez has just won Liverpool the league. Congratulations, the Reds. It's over now. I'm sorry, a point to Brentford would not have been a disaster, no. But for Núñez to come on and nick 2 goals in the final minute, in the haunting words of Stevie G,
this does not slip.
like, it actually doesn't. Núñez might be seen as a big money Liverpool flop, and he might well be sold soon, but oh no. No. This match alone has cemented himself as a lifelong cult hero at least, because yes, some players can be disappointing Liverpool flops, but if they score a crucial goal that contributes to them winning a trophy, then they are seen as cult heroes who, yeah, in 15 years will be getting invited to playing in Liverpool Legends charity matches, like Vladimir Schweitzer, a woefully forgettable Czech winger who stunk up Anfield for 6 years, but because he scored a goal in an epic Champions League final win, oh, he's a legend forever. Same goes for Djibril Cissé, who scored a penalty in that shootout win over AC Milan and also banged one home in an FA Cup final. Even Ryan Babel didn't really win anything at Liverpool, but scored the winner against Manchester United, so he's a Liverpool legend. These players were not good Liverpool signings, no, but it's these moments which will make them live on as a hero forever. And yes, Núñez, he has been a big waste of money. He's not been a good signing from Benfica at all, but I'm sorry. For that evening alone, he just single-handedly bought the love from the Liverpool fan base for the rest of his life. Everton 3, Tottenham 2. What's going on? What are we even doing here anymore? Tottenham are 15th in the league in January. I know they've had horrible injury problems in defense, but even still, 15th? Really? I like Ange Postecoglou as a manager, but let's be real. I am surprised he is not being sacked. Christ above. Jose Mourinho was binned off days before a League Cup final. I know Ange is on the verge of a League Cup final too, but come on. Is he really though? Because does anyone really expect Tottenham not to lose by more than a goal at Anfield in the second leg? No, absolutely not. This is relegation form. It's 1 point for the last 6 matches. I like Postecoglou and I sympathise with his injury demons, but I am sorry, that is absolutely sack behaviour. Come on, this is unforgivable. Rocking up at Goodison Park and to be 3-0 down at half time. I know the Toffees have a new manager in charge, but I am sorry. New manager bounce? New? This was Moisey's 528th match in charge of Everton. He's about as new and fresh as a Neighbours Repeat episode. This is somebody whose first game in charge as Everton boss was nearly 23 years ago. And yet you play right into his hands, getting absolutely eaten like Weetabix. I'm in a weird position here because I quite like Ange, and I think he is the quintessential Spurs manager, playing exciting, breathtaking Spurs football. And when he has all his players fit, they can absolutely click. Like when they went 4-0 at Man City. But let's be real, this situation is getting toxic. He's acting like a miserable, grumpy oaf who calls out his players in public. Exactly what people accuse Josie of doing at Spurs. And let's not forget, Tottenham choked it into last season too to blow the top 4. Remember the 4 defeats in a row? Spurs have not actually put 3 league wins together since December 2023. That's 2 Christmases ago. So this horrible run isn't entirely down to injuries. No, Spurs have been off the boil under Ange for a while. Can people not see that it's become toxic yet? It's a bit like looking in your freezer and realizing, oh yeah, the potato waffles have actually been quietly rotting for months. I am shocked Levy hasn't fired him yet and gone with Paulo Fonseca until the end of the season, before then going really ambitious and really Hollywood and ringing up Xavi? Keeping a man who has you just 3 places above the relegation zone in January. This is not Daniel Levy behavior, so none of this makes sense. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what do you think. Let me know, what did you make of the gaming? Let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to get like, share, ways. I'll talk to you in a while.